Title: Deathworlders make impossible alien tech work in minutes. Synopsis: an alien crew crashes on a harsh planet, and with their ship's core engine broken, they're desperate. The only ones who respond are humans, renowned for their resilience on hostile planets, Deathworlders. Skeptical of human skill, the aliens are in awe when these primitive beings repair their impossible engine in mere minutes. Story start. Scene 1. The crash on Arachner 4. The sky over Arachner 4 was a churning storm of acid-laced clouds, casting a sickly green light on the jagged terrain below. The alien crew aboard the Astron had barely stabilized their descent when the engine core gave a final shudder, a faint whine rising into silence as the craft sank into the toxic dust. Chief Engineer Zyrax clung to the console, sharp claws digging into the edges as the last emergency lights flickered and went out. A strained voice crackled over the ship's intercom. "Zyrax, report. How bad is it?" Zyrax shook his head, staring at the malfunction indicators still glowing dimly on his console. "The core is gone, Commander Valarn. Atmospheric corrosives hit us harder than anticipated. It's beyond any repair I know." A sigh echoed through the intercom, laced with the tension that gripped the entire crew. They were light years away from any assistance, and even their emergency distress beacon seemed laughable on this remote, hazardous death world. "What are our options?" Commander Valarn's voice sounded thin, almost resigned. Zyrax's shoulders slumped. "Frankly, Commander, none. We need parts we don't have, and repair mechanisms that could withstand the corrosive atmosphere." But a faint beep interrupted him, and he stared at the console, disbelief replacing his exhaustion. "Wait, we're receiving a signal." "From whom?" Valarn's voice grew sharper. Zyrax checked the readings. "It's a human vessel. They picked up our distress call." Scene 2. Arrival of the human repair team. Less than an hour later, a rugged human ship landed a few hundred meters from the Astron, its worn exterior pitted and scarred, a testament to many battles and harsh conditions. The hatch opened, and 3 humans stepped out, their casual confidence a stark contrast to the tension in the alien crew. The lead human, a woman with dark hair pulled into a messy ponytail, scanned the area before her eyes settled on Zyrax. She raised a hand in greeting, a wide smile splitting her face. "Name's Alex Rivera. Heard you need some help with an engine." Zyrax was taken aback by her nonchalance, almost irritated at the lack of formality. "Do you have any idea what kind of technology you're dealing with?" "This is a quantum-class graviton stabilizer, not some simple human combustion engine." Alex's eyes sparkled with humor. "Graviton, quantum, whatever. If it's got wires and circuits, we can make it work." Her team was already unloading gear. A battered set of tools, strange metal components, and a coil of duct tape that gleamed in the faint light. Zyrax's scales shifted colors in alarm as he watched them. "Those are your repair tools," he stammered, unable to mask his disbelief. One of the other humans, a stocky man named Marco, gave him a grin. "Well, yeah. This gear's been with us through worse death worlds than this one." Zyrax turned to Commander Valarn, who stood nearby, equally dubious but hopeful. "Are we really letting them touch our systems?" Valarn's gaze shifted to the humans, then back to Zyrax. "If we have another choice, I don't see it. Let them try." With a resigned sigh, Zyrax gestured to the shattered core. "It's here. Good luck." Scene 3. Human ingenuity in action. The humans approached the core, Alex kneeling beside it with an appraising look. She ran her hands over the outer casing, frowning as she examined the fractures. "I see what happened. Corrosive atmosphere seeped through the sealant. We'll need to get this metal alloy stabilized first." Zyrax watched in stunned silence as she peeled back the layers of the core's exterior, stripping it down to its skeletal circuits. She made quick work of bypassing the more intricate wiring, using simple copper wires and a strange adhesive substance. "Hold on," Zyrax interrupted, voice rising. "That sealant isn't fit for this type of engine. It could burn out." Alex shrugged, not looking up from her work. "It's all about stability, Zyrax. When you come from a death world, you learn that resilience and functionality trump elegance. Now hand me that coil, will you? Still skeptical, Zyrax passed her the coil, watching as she wounded around a frayed section of the power core. The humans worked quickly, each knowing precisely where they needed to be and what they had to do. Marco adjusted the stabilizers, while the third human, Lisa, handled recalibrating the output meters with a patched-together handheld device. Commander Valarn, observing from a distance, leaned over to Zyrax. They work fast. And is that duct tape? Yes, sir, Zyrax said, still aghast. They're using duct tape. Let's see if it works, Valarn replied, a faint smile pulling at the corners of his mouth. Scene 4. Testing the impossible engine. After barely an hour, the humans stepped back, surveying their work. Alex brushed her hands together, standing up with a satisfied grin. All right, give it a try. Zyrax hesitated, eyeing the modified engine with a mixture of fear and fascination. Every instinct told him that the repairs should have taken days, not minutes, and with tools and methods far more sophisticated than what these humans had employed. With a nervous glance at the commander, Zyrax reached out and powered the core. The engine hummed to life, a deep, resonant sound that filled the room. Indicators flickered, stabilizing within moments, and the graviton circuits calibrated with a precision Zyrax hadn't thought possible. He gaped, stunned. It's working. Alex crossed her arms, a smug look on her face. Told you. Humans don't give up on something just because it's impossible. You just have to know how to make it work. Scene 5. Alien reactions and human problem solving. The alien crew stood around the engine room, watching the newly revived core hum smoothly, its once flickering lights now stable and bright. Zyrax stared, still in disbelief. The sight of his precious engine, repaired in ways he never imagined possible, stirred both awe and skepticism. Alex, he started, trying to mask the grudging respect in his tone, what exactly did you do? The stabilization matrix was compromised. The circuit relays were fried. What sort of tech did you use? Alex chuckled, unfazed by the alien engineer's bewilderment. It's not about fancy tech, Zyrax. Sometimes, all you need is a bit of elbow grease, ingenuity, and maybe some duct tape. She winked at him, her easy demeanor sharply contrasting with the alien crew's serious expressions. Duct tape? Zyrax echoed, his mind trying to process the simplicity of her solution. It's strong, flexible, and sticks to just about anything. I don't know what we'd do without it, she said with a grin, patting the core affectionately as though it were a faithful old pet. Commander Valarn's voice cut through the room, laced with intrigue. Humans are known as Deathworlders, surviving hostile environments, but I never thought that would translate to this level of adaptability. Alex nodded, her face turning serious. Survival and problem-solving go hand in hand where I'm from, Commander. You can't be picky about resources when your life depends on it. She glanced at Zyrax. Out here, it's all about making do with what you've got. The alien engineer's crest shifted colors, a mixture of curiosity and admiration finally settling in. You're unlike any engineers I've met, Alex Rivera. Scene 6. Human adaptability tested. After the success of the engine repair, the humans prepared to leave, but Valarn halted them with a raised hand. Hold, Alex. The environment sensors are showing a storm brewing outside. The acid levels are spiking beyond the usual. Alex glanced at the readout, nodding in understanding. Looks like we're stuck with you a bit longer, Commander. Hope you don't mind. Commander Valarn looked at Zyrax, who gave a slight nod. It seems we have more to learn from each other. Why don't you join us for meals? Scene 7. Meal and mutual discovery. The humans and aliens gathered in the small mess hall, the air thick with curiosity as they began sharing stories of their respective worlds. Alex was fascinated by the alien tales of advanced neural networks and teleportation engines, while Zyrax and Valarn were astounded by humanity's improvisational survival stories on Earth. Alex laughed, recalling a tale. There was one time on Mars where we were stuck without heating, used empty food cans and a solar blanket to keep the whole crew warm through the night. It wasn't pretty, but it got the job done. Zyrax's crest shifted a shade darker in surprise. You managed with food cans and a blanket? Alex shrugged. The key isn't just knowing how to survive, but accepting that survival doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to work. Valarn leaned forward, his curiosity piqued.
But why?
Why live on such hostile worlds? Alex looked around, her gaze steady. Because it's in our nature to explore, to push boundaries. We've always thrived in places we weren't supposed to. It's like a collective challenge we keep rising to meet. Scene 8. Another crisis. Just as the conversation grew lively, a loud alarm sounded, and red lights flashed across the ship's monitors. Zyrax shot to his feet, eyes wide. "Commander, we're experiencing a severe energy spike in the engine core." Valarn nodded, turning to Alex and her team. "Can you handle it?" Without hesitation, Alex and her team ran to the engine room, Valarn and Zyrax close behind. The humans worked with speed and precision, their hands moving in a flurry over the engine's controls, rerouting circuits and creating makeshift connections. Marco muttered as he adjusted a capacitor. "Looks like the core overload's caused by an alien tech hiccup. We just need to redistribute the energy." Lisa, the third human, was already reprogramming the engine software. "I'm setting up a bypass sequence now. It'll drain the excess power, but it won't be elegant." Valarn watched in awe as the humans, facing a system they'd never encountered, managed to stabilize the engine in under 5 minutes. The humans exchanged glances, then turned to Valarn with a nod. "It's stabilized," Alex confirmed, a bead of sweat glistening on her forehead. Valarn's expression softened, a mixture of gratitude and admiration. "I can't believe it. Zyrax, take note. This kind of adaptability may be the key to overcoming challenges beyond even our technological capacity." Scene 9. Parting ways, but with respect. The storm finally passed, and the humans prepared to depart, their ship loaded with the repaired parts and packed gear. As they suited up, Zyrax approached Alex, holding a small, shimmering object in his hands. "This is a power shard from our ship's primary core," he said, his voice tinged with a rare warmth. "It's a piece of our technology and of our respect. Please, take it as a token of our thanks." Alex took the shard, a smile spreading across her face. "Thank you, Zyrax. I'll take good care of it." The crew of the Astron watched as the humans boarded their ship and lifted off, their vessel disappearing into the hazy skies of Arachnar 4. Scene 10. A newfound bond across species. As Zyrax watched the human ship vanish, Valarn placed a hand on his shoulder. "These Deathworlders, they're not what I expected." Zyrax nodded. "They are more than mere survivors. They're innovators, explorers. They see the impossible and turn it into a challenge." The commander smiled. "Perhaps the galaxy has much more to learn from humanity than we realized." Ending. A shift in perspective. On board their own vessel, Alex and her team reflected on their experience. Marco tapped the power shard that now hung from the cockpit, a reminder of their unusual adventure. "Think they'll call us again?" he asked. Alex grinned. "Oh, I'm counting on it." As they soared through the stars, Alex couldn't help but feel that they'd not only repaired an engine but also forged an alliance, and perhaps opened a new chapter in humanity's role within the galaxy.